Yo guys, what's going on? It's Sibs Gaming, and we all know that the Battle for Neighborville update was massive. In fact, I still haven't fully comprehended everything that the update balanced out with this game. That being said, today we are going to look at some of the unusual character changes resulting from that update. These are changes that I never even thought of adding into the game, but if you main any of these characters, you're definitely going to want to know this information, and maybe you've already found this out yourself. So without further ado, let's get into 5 weird character changes in Battle for Neighborville. You are watching Psycho Sibs Gaming. Alright, so the first strange change is to Imp's Imkata ability. As of this latest update, you can now trigger the Imkata while in mid-air. This is a relatively strange addition because the mid-air Imkata actually kinda sucks. I mean, I understand that Imp is a very floaty character and his playstyle revolves around constantly bunny hopping and double jumping, but considering you need to be right next to your enemy to deal decent damage with the Imkata, the mid-air ripcord is a pretty odd addition and is not going to be very effective in majority of situations. Nonetheless, you now no longer have to have your feet on the ground in order to activate that Imkata, so go on out there and have some fun, Imp mains. The next strange addition we have is a self-knockback buff for Acorns Sap Trap. What this means is that when you shoot the Sap Trap on the ground or anywhere and then detonate it, you can actually launch Acorn with the knockback off of that little sticky ball. So what does this mean? This means that the Sap Trap is now not just an offensive weapon, but it is also a tool that you can use to help maneuver yourself around the map. If you're in a 1v1 gunfight with somebody and you're about to die, shoot a Sap Trap on the ground, launch yourself straight up into the air to get the height advantage on them and take them out. It's a pretty cool new change that I never really would have thought of, and I'm excited to see how this fits into Acorn's overall highly mobile playstyle. Next up, we have an increase to the number of active mines Cactus can have on the field at one time. What does this mean exactly? Well, previously, Cactus was only able to have 4 potato mines down at one time. If your refresh kicked in, you had another potato mine, you placed it down, your original potato mine would disappear because you can only ever have 4 in one game at one time. Now, with this change, you can actually have 6 down at any given time. So, if you place your initial 4, you wait for the refresh, you can place down a 5th mine, and then you can place down a 6th mine after that. Now, any more mines placed after 6 will cause some of the previous ones to disappear, but basically what this means is now you can just, well, have more mines out on the field at once. So, you have a better chance of killing some enemies because your mine from, 5 minutes ago sticks around a little longer and ends up blowing that person up. Now the 4th change on our list relates to 80s action hero's Rocket Ride ability. Rocket Ride's a pretty decently powerful ability, however, one of the major flaws was that it rooted you in place, and therefore it was really easy to just get taken out by opponents if you weren't already melting them down with your rockets. Now when you use the Rocket Ride, you can actually move. Now, granted, you move pretty slowly, but you will be able to see 80s action heroes up on that giant rocket barrel starting to soar through the sky. It's a pretty decent change, although I do think that the slow movement is not going to do a whole lot for helping you survive on the Rocket Ride. It's still a nice touch that allows me to, not feel super rooted in the ground and extremely vulnerable to attacks from enemies. And our final change of the day, and quite possibly the strangest change of the day, is the Mech Sprint. So, I understand why they added the Mech Sprint into the game. Mech was pretty slow, and Mech should be this, all-powerful giant robot that doesn't have too many flaws. But the sprinting animation is unbelievably disturbing. They, instead of just going for the normal humanoid sprint, they went more for, the giant ape sprint. So, the gorilla sprint, the King Kong sprint, where they're just barreling forwards towards you, using the knuckles, essentially, as feet. So on all 4s, sprinting towards you. This Mech Sprint is absolute nightmare fuel, but at the same time, I kind of love it. I definitely have found myself playing Imp quite a bit more, just with some of these changes that we've talked about, and some of the other balances with Imp. But man, is this Mech Sprint just something straight out of the blue. Never saw this one coming, and it is quite the most interesting animation I've ever seen. Although, gotta say, I do love it. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up the video today. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're closing in really close on 5,000 subscribers. I have some pretty cool events planned for that milestone, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that like so more people watch this video, and then we get more subscribers. It's a positive cycle, guys. We're trying for that positive cycle. Anyways, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time. Game on, gamers.